Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. That's right, to another episode of your favorite weekly sports podcast show. This is Sideline Banter, and I am your host, Cooper Pose, coming at you guys live from when this video gets uploaded with my co-host, Weston Murphy, as always.
Not live at all.
And behind the camera, guy who brings us to your homes, your headphones, your cars, your auxiliary cords, your Bluetooth stereos, Spencer Steinke. Let's give a round of applause for Spence. Shout out.
Always out here grinding.
Another great day, another great episode. We are very excited.
Because I'm out here grinding.
It's been a very exciting week in sports, I would say. But before we get started with tonight's discussion, we got to remember, don't forget to follow us at _Sideline Banter on Instagram and Twitter. Find us on YouTube at Sideline Banter. Hit that like, subscribe button. Appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving us.
Keep cranking out episodes.
Keep cranking them out. We got the draft next week. We got NBA playoffs started last week. Have all been very exciting.
Yeah, NBA playoffs have been popping.
Very popping. And
the Phoenix Suns are looking good. Shout out AZ.
They're looking a little shaky.
Last night was giving me hope, dude. I love this play the Suns are running. They just give KD a nice mid-screen, come down off the block. It's a mid-range, just so pure every time, bro.
He is so good, but the problem with Phoenix right now, just tonight,
that they're not following us.
They're not following us, one. Two, they played all of their starters last night for 40-plus minutes.
That is true.
40-plus minutes. Absolutely insane. We will talk about NBA playoffs tonight, but first,
do it to them.
Got to get to it. Sweeping the socials. We didn't do it last week, and we're bringing it back this week. What'd you think I was going to say?
Follow us at _Sideline Banter.
I did it already.
Oh, really?
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, I'm not capping.
Yeah, I did it already. That was the first thing I did.
My bad.
That's just ready for me to fail.
I think I'm just daydreaming, huh?
About what?
Daydream.
About that cake shake?
Fell asleep in the flowers. Cake shake? Yeah, low key. Gilbert just dropped a Portillo's. I'm trying to get in that bitch.
Whoa.
Sorry, but I'm just being honest here.
Hey. Got a Portillo's. But we didn't bring Sweeping the Socials to you guys last week. We apologize. We kept it kind of casual. But this week we're back. Got some really great questions. And
nice little four-banger.
Yeah,
four-banger questions.
Shout out to everybody who participated this week.
Yeah, we love it. Nice little starters for the main course that we're going to get to. We break down a little NFL news. Okay, huh? First question, we got Blake _Elliott, 34. Loyal question asker. We had to know. He was not going to drop the ball on Sweeping the Social.
Had to.
Blake wants to know, who are your top 3 Suns players of all time? I know this is a little bit of a difficult question because, Coop, you don't necessarily support the Suns. You're obviously a hometown guy. You went to a game when you were younger, got to, live up the Suns experience with the gorilla and whatnot. Spence, obviously a Suns hater, Lakers stan. I don't even think he's ever been to LA, but he supports all those teams, obviously. And me, I am a Suns fan for sure. My uncle used to work for them, so I definitely have a close relationship, I think, at heart. The Suns have a special place in my heart because I used to go to games. I've met a few players. Got to go in the locker room, got to go on a tour, went and sat, really, really close to the court for a playoff game, which was electric. I don't know. You guys want to go first? I can't really pinpoint players, but you guys can give your best.
Well, I mean, like you said, I'm not a Suns fan. I wouldn't say I'm a Suns hater. I am from LA. I was born there.
All right,
we say this every week.
Oh, my bad.
But no, I like, obviously, I feel like most people's pick, if you're around watching them when we were younger, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire. But I like Chuck as a personality. I just like him a lot, and that's all I can think about when it comes to like the old Suns. Yeah. So those are my 3.
Okay, yeah. I mean, can't go wrong with any of those guys. Obviously, Steve Nash and Amari were just pick and roll demons. Like they really just were a 1-2 combo that couldn't be fucked with back in the day. And Amari would just slam on a motherfucker like he didn't even care. And Nash, obviously 2-time MVP, just passing wizard. Really carried that Suns kind of dynasty. You had Mike D'Antoni back in the day, the run and shoot kind of offense. Revolutionized the game for a little bit. The Suns were the first ones to be really fucking with it like that. Dude, I mean, I have such fond memories of Steve Nash as well as Amari. We We got to sign 2-time MVP Steve Nash ball up here in the rafters at the house. I met Steve Nash before and Amari, dude. They're dope dudes, and I definitely think that they would be on my list as well. But by forfeital, I'll just probably select other players just so I'm not copying you, riding your wave. What about fucking Leandro Barbosa? I love that guy. Definitely have very fond memories just at the Suns games. The meep, they would always hit that whenever he scored because he was like the road runner from Warner Brothers. They would hit the meep every time, dude. That just like resonates nostalgia with me. Like it really just hits home, like shit like that. But also, Leandro's kind of a psychopath. I'm pretty sure he was staying with Steve Nash whenever he came to play for the Suns from Brazil. And one of Steve Nash's kids came out a little bit tan with some curly hair, and they found out. I'm almost positive this is confirmed. If you want to go ahead and give me a stat check, but yeah, Leandro Barbosa nailed Steve Nash's girl, and it ended up being his kid when they were staying together. After that, Leandro's definitely a hard guy to support, I think, because that's kind of a dirtball move. But he was sick on the court, and I definitely remember number 10 used to blow by people and hit the fucking layup right underneath the hoop. What about you? Who comes straight to mind for you? You did that shit with the Suns back in the day. Did anybody dap you up that you were just mesmerized by?
Dude, honestly, I was so young, I barely remember.
I know, dude. It's so hard to remember shit like that, right?
But I would probably obviously have to say Steve Nash, Charles Barkley. I know Kevin Johnson's a big name that people like to throw around a lot.
Yeah, but who hits for you that you watched?
Well, I was getting there.
You're a Raja Bell guy, huh?
Nope. John Marion.
John Marion, the Matrix, bro. Marion. I forget about the Matrix.
Played his prime years with Phoenix. Was a great two-way player, and
everybody used to try and create a shot in the backyard. Huh?
That was, dude, so unorthodox, but
the most insane shot.
Very lethal.
Hey, he could clip.
Very lethal, and he actually was I was a huge fan of him growing up because we have the same birthday. Yeah, dude. That's why I was.
Shout out Sean Marion.
Sean Marion. I remember seeing that on the back of the little book bookmarks we used to get at school.
Okay.
And it was like a little player stat one. I was like, Sean Marion, 27, let's go.
After that, you're like, that's my guy.
No, literally. So,
that's my guy.
But Sean Marion, I think, doesn't get the love that he really deserves. I mean, that Phoenix Suns 7-second offense back in the day with Steve Nash, Amari, Sean Marion, Barbosa, Raja Bell, like they revolutionized the NBA.
That's my childhood.
They revolutionized the NBA at one point in terms of moving the ball in basketball. And I mean, the only thing
they were nice, just could never get it done in the playoffs.
I was going to say the only thing that really stopped them was
Kobe. Every year, Kobe.
Spurs had their moment with them,
Spurs, too. Tony Parker.
It really was Kobe for the longest time.
Spence over there just fucking flexing his muscles.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah, he's got his Lakers cap on right now.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to say Steve Nash, 2-time MVP, obviously, Charles Barkley.
He's the face of the Suns.
Yeah,
well, those Leandro Barbosa rumors are a little fucking crazy. It's actually, so Steve Nash divorced his wife a day after they delivered the baby.
Yep.
He thought it was Barbosa's, but it turned out it was Jason Richardson, another one of his teammates' babies.
No way.
Yeah. So that's what happened.
I was just about to say Jay Rich was one of my favorite players, bro. I saw him. He's the one that got he did the 360 and got blocked off the backboard by LeBron. I was at the game.
He was nice too.
I was at the game, bro. I saw it live. It was insane. It was so cool. LeBron, bro. Watching LeBron play in person, definitely a bucket list type shit. But especially back when he was insane. It was when he was on Cleveland.
Yeah, in his prime.
Yeah.
He's still pretty insane now.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Fucking best player of all time. But no shit. Jason Richardson knocked up Steve Nash's girl?
That's so funny that you bring up
And
LeBron.
they thought it was Barbosa?
They thought it was Barbosa, but it was actually Jason Richardson.
Poor Steve, bro. Such
his
a good
wife
guy.
is getting around.
Bro, he's living life. He lives in LA. He's chilling.
I know, but still.
AJ's uncle is a pilot, and he lives out in LA, and he says he sees all the time. He just like out walking the street.
I forget he was a coach.
Yeah, he was a coach for the Warriors.
That's.
Well, he was also a coach for the Warriors though when he was living
before.
in LA. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, super wild.
Shout out Steve Nash, bro. That's the man. Santa Clara all the way to Big Apple, coach. Shout out.
Not anymore though. He kind of sucked. But
who else are one of my favorite? I mean, we got to give a shout out to Pat Burke, right? I
Pat Burke, he'd be the Ankinator.
Suns
like
legend. He beat the Ankinator. If anybody knows what the Ankinator is, me and Coop back in the day when we were youngins.
Dude, we used to fucking play that game for hours.
We used to play the Ankinator for hours just trying to think of things that it couldn't guess. And it was when I had those signed pictures of the Suns players in the fucking living room or in my...
The Ankinator, for those who don't know, it was like a game where you would give the Ankinator clues.
It's like 20 questions.
Yeah, to try and guess a person, and it literally...
Anything. Person, play...
It was like...
Anything.
It
It's
was
insane.
It was like it was probably realistically like 96% like accurate.
More than 96,
that, 97%. Like it got...
We used to think it was black voodoo magic. Like you couldn't talk around it because it was listening to you.
It would get the people like almost immediately, and if you if it thought you stooped it, or if you thought you stooped it, then it would ask like another like reference question to kind of get back on track.
Follow-up questions, yeah.
Yeah, follow-up question. That's what I was going for. And the follow-up question, depending on how you answered it, it would almost immediately lead it
right to it.
Right to where you were, like to where you would know.
The follow-ups would just be a little bit more detailed to the point where you're like, oh, like if I answer this the way it is, he's gonna get it. And
yeah.
Dude, we used to play that for hours, and so I had like
it was one of those. It was like a team roster picture where it was like one of those fancy ones.
Yeah, because my uncle who was worked for the Suns in the back office. That's pretty much what he got me every year for Christmas or my birthday was just the signed team photo with everybody's signature on them. And yeah, we looked at like the guy lowest on the photo that nobody recognized, never got in the game. We're like, Pat Burke. There's no way they can guess Pat Burke. Put it in the Ankinator, asked all the questions, and we ended up stupid.
Never got him.
I just realized we spent a fucking long time on this question.
No, we did. It's okay though.
Right, brought me back.
Blake always brings the questions that get us talking.
Way to get the show started, Blake. We're gonna move on. Everybody good on the Suns?
Yeah.
Next question. Shout out Blake Elliott. Thanks for the question.
Number 1 Suns player Landry Shamet.
That's disgusting. John_Everts. Unpopular opinion. He thinks CJ Stroud will be the best QB from this draft class. What do you guys think?
I don't want to say I disagree with him, but I kind of do.
He was rumored to go first for like the last 3 weeks, right?
Sorry, I meant I don't want to say I agree with him, but I kind of do. Sorry, not disagree with him.
Okay.
I kind of agree with him because he was very highly touted the last like 3-4 weeks. Even
he was number one.
The pro day video with
all the connections, yeah.
Pro day video with McCown. And he's saying the whole like, when you get to Carolina, we'll find a basketball court for us to
connections to Frank Reich. Frank Reich's never taking a quarterback.
I think why Bryce Young now is all of a sudden number 1 is, I don't know, you might know what it is, like that QB IQ score, like he got like one of the highest scores ever on it, like
yeah.
And not saying I don't think Bryce Young
who got the highest score last year class?
Pick?
Brock Purdy.
Really? Damn
yes,
it.
sir.
I don't think Bryce Young is going to necessarily be. You already know my position with this QB class. I'm not very high on it. I think they're going to be good, but I think if I'm a QB needy quarterback team, I would probably wait till next year when Caleb Williams is coming out of the draft.
Okay.
But
I have a newfound position.
For what? For this QB? Go ahead. Because honestly, I'm not very. I do like this class. I like Bryce Young. I like CJ Stroud. The more that people were talking about him being the number 1 pick.
Will Levis, don't you?
No, I don't. He is jocked though.
He is jocked. He's big.
I do. The more that they were talking about CJ Stroud, the more I was starting to believe in this class more and kind of think, okay, like, because at one point all you saw was CJ Stroud on the TV. That was his highlights because number 1 pick for the last couple weeks. It was always kind of Bryce Young's kind of there. Kind of still hovering around there, but it was always CJ Stroud. And I think this QB class is good, but I don't know if there's any great QBs coming out of this draft. That's just my opinion. And obviously, I don't know anything. I'm not Mel Kiper, even though he doesn't really know. But we're all just out here playing the guessing game,
Give me Bryce Young. I'm sold. 100% sold. I watched the Pivot episode with Bryce Young, and after listening to him talk, his confidence, his self-awareness, his maturity for being a young guy like that, like he's head and shoulders above what I thought he was mentally. And he really put a lot of things in perspective for me play-wise as well. And him and CJ have been neck and neck forever. Both played in California for high school. Bryce Young came out of Mater Dei. CJ Stroud, I think, went to Rancho Cucamonga. That's actually where Workaholics is based.
Really?
The show, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
El Chupacabraj. So they came up playing in high school together. They both went to the Elite 11. CJ Stroud wins the Elite 11. Blah, blah, blah. Alabama decommits. Bryce Young decommits from USC, ends up going to Alabama. CJ Stroud, I believe, decommitted as well and ended up going to Ohio State. So they've both been neck and neck the whole time, bro. But the thing that I just flash back to is the thing that we put so much weight and respect in college football, bro. Bryce Young played and succeeded and was the superstar, the leader, the best player on his team at Alabama, playing in SEC competition week in and week out. When's the last time that we saw a successful quarterback come out of Ohio State? Dwayne Haskins, arguably, very, very high pick. Ended up not working out with the Redskins. Obviously gone too soon, went to the Steelers. RIP Dwayne Haskins. Didn't really work out in the NFL. Obviously, we didn't get to see him again, but he was a backup at that point.
He was. No,
but he was also a very high pick.
Actually, at your dad dinner.
Braxton Miller,
because of,
JT
his
Barrett,
play.
you do owe him.
Do.
You have Braxton Miller, JT Barrett. Obviously, didn't end up being the players that we thought. What other QBs? Cardell Jones, obviously in the XFL. What quarterbacks have we seen that are successful out of Ohio State?
Yeah, it's
in
kind
the
of
NFL?
wild. I think they were saying, weren't they
Troy
saying
Smith won the Heisman.
Weren't they saying CJ Stroud would be like the first like top 5 quarterback picked from Ohio State since like
Dwayne was top 10.
no,
top
he was
5,
he
10,
was like
10?
he was 14, I think.
Okay, so top 20. But yeah, Ohio State quarterback. I think we're shooting here, we're reaching here, and I think a lot of it was smoke and mirrors from the Panthers to begin, just because of the situation. Obviously, we have a lot of teams that are threatening to move up, whatever. But the Panthers are the ones that moved up to number 1, are they not?
Yep.
They want Bryce Young. They know Bryce Young. And I really, after watching the Pivot podcast and listening to him and actually conceptualizing the play that he had in the SEC conference as a leader and a winner, I just think it's a no-brainer that Bryce Young, despite the size and stature, I don't think that plays as big of a factor anymore, and we've seen that. I think that they would be missing if they didn't pick him. Obviously, you have Anthony Richardson in the Hall of Fame type of numbers that he put up, but we haven't. He's a one-year starter, and we haven't seen him really do much.
Anthony Richardson, to me, I'm still not completely sold.
Bryce Young's body of work is ridiculous. He's a Heisman winner.
I think the size is just the biggest worry. Obviously, I think that's stupid because we've seen size not play a factor.
The durability is the biggest issue.
He is
even with the size. Kyler Murray was the same size, but his durability is better, I would say.
I would say Kyler Murray.
This guy.
I would say Kyler Murray's durability is probably better because Kyler Murray, for how little he is, he's still a pretty big guy. Like he's stocky. He definitely has some size to him.
Bryce Young's crafty. He gets down.
Yes,
but if he's taking big sacks in the pocket, you can't.
He almost kind of reminds me of Tua's build. Tua's a little bigger, but I think Tua is kind of more
looks big. Him in his off-season throwing session.
I haven't really.
Fat. He's big, bro.
I don't know why he's playing. I don't know why he's still playing anyways.
You see he's doing martial arts that are teaching him how to fall when he gets tackled.
Really?
So that he won't hit his head anymore.
Holy shit, it's that bad?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this freaking...
I think it's judo. It's either judo or he's doing jiu-jitsu, but he's working with an MMA coach to teach him how to fall so he doesn't concuss himself.
Don't quote me on this, but the last time a Ohio State quarterback was taken in the top 5.
Troy Smith.
Terrell Pryor? No, 1982.
Gosh.
Art Schlichter? I don't know how to say it.
Boy.
Yeah, Don Scott, first round, number 9, 1941. So yeah, I definitely get Justin Fields is the most recent one. Pick 11, 2021.
I was obviously forgetting about him. Justin Fields is probably to date the most successful Ohio State quarterback. And would you guys wager to say that
I'm still not sold on him?
I don't think anybody's necessarily sold on him. Chicago's not even sold on him. I think this is his move, make it or break it year, his prove it year right now, because they're putting weapons around him and they're solidifying the offensive line. But even so, would you guys say what makes Justin Fields next level, right? Or or not even next level, what makes him a formidable option in the NFL right now? His legs. And Stroud does not have those same legs.
Yeah, but Stroud, I would say, is more. Stroud is obviously more of a quarterback prospect than Fields is.
I agree. He's a better pocket passer, and he can put the ball on the money. But
see, I was never really high on Stroud, even in college. In my opinion, not that I don't think he was ever. Not saying that he wasn't good, but there was never any. He didn't have that it factor to me. Like I feel like every quarterback in these big time programs, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Caleb Williams, all these quarterbacks.
He played insane against Georgia, though.
He did, but.
He showed it factor in that game.
He definitely showed it factor in that game, in a big time game. But what I was going to say is I feel like every quarterback who plays in a big time program like that, at some point, they show why they belong at that level in terms of college football.
Yeah.
But there was nothing with CJ Stroud to me that screamed next NFL great quarterback. Look at the roster that he had
100%.
At Ohio State. And not just him. You can't just point the finger at him because all of these guys have incredible, insane NFL-ready rosters. Not all of them, obviously, but Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, specifically talking the top two. I think personally I would probably go with Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud because to me, Bryce Young does seem the most NFL-ready. But at the same time, you have to look at
Stroud had the best wide receiver in college football.
Stroud had the best wide receiver in college football, but you also have to look at Bama quarterbacks and their history 100%. In the NFL. Now,
you ain't capping there, bro.
Now we have to kind of backpedal on that because obviously
none of them won the Heisman.
With the success of Jalen Hurts,
True.
Success of Jalen Hurts. We've seen somewhat success with Tua.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is a bust. We don't need to talk about it.
But that list is still better than
It's still better than the Ohio State. Yes. 100%. Still better than the Ohio State.
Because
Mac Jones might not be a bust.
Who are you taking right now, Mac Jones or Justin Fields? Hot take.
Justin Fields.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. That's what I'm saying, bro. You have to go back on that a little bit.
Mac Jones. Because Mac Jones' rookie year, yes, did show potential. That's why I do want to backpedal on saying Mac Jones is a bust. I just am so hard on him because I don't think he's that good, and he kind of he whines. Pause.
Thank you.
He whines and complains a lot on the sideline, which
no, he's a bitch, made
he's kind of a bitch. But at the same time, his offensive coordinator last year was a defensive coordinator and a special teams coordinator. Like he didn't have much help. So to me, it's kind of more of like Mac Jones. What have you done to act this way?
He's kind of dirty too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Little dirty player.
Who's not dirty though? Let's be honest here.
I don't know. I saw a lot of clips of him just kicking out guys' ankles and shit.
But I agree with you. When you match up Bama quarterbacks compared to Ohio State quarterbacks,
gotta take
in terms of success in general, you would pick the Bama quarterbacks. I would say.
Bama quarterback just got the biggest contract of all time in NFL history.
Did just get a massive payday, which we will talk about after sweeping.
Are you considering him a Bama quarterback or a Oklahoma quarterback?
Honestly, I would consider him I would say probably both because it's kind of hard because he does represent both schools still. Like there's a lot of clips.
Right, he does kind of.
Because during the
both schools claim him.
I was gonna say during the playoffs when both schools were claiming him, like I was seeing on Twitter a lot, like people posting like press conferences, like after practice stuff like that, where he's got like a bunch of different like Ohio or Oklahoma and Alabama like crop top cutoffs that like you wear on your shoulder pads. Remember like what we used to wear? Like he definitely still reps both schools. And I mean, even his Senior Bowl helmet, I don't know if you saw his Senior Bowl helmet. One side was the Bama, the other side was Oklahoma. So he claims both.
He's like one of those guys that's like a narrative guy. Yeah. So that would
personally
make sense.
though, I would think he's an Oklahoma guy because he got his individual success. I feel like at Oklahoma was Jalen Hurts became who he is now when he went to Oklahoma because
of the pitfalls at Alabama that made him.
I
can
agree with you.
That would be his argument.
That would probably yes. Yeah. In terms of speaking from like.
Yeah, he'd be
like self-reflecting. Like
I wouldn't be Jalen Hurts without the fucking challenge.
Without the trials and tribulations at Bama, yes. But his time at Oklahoma, I feel like made him into the quarterback that he is now. Going with a coach like Lincoln Riley, somebody who we've seen make a lot of college quarterbacks pretty successful and go on to the next level. So obviously not longevity-wise with Baker Mayfield, but Kyler Murray is still. I think Kyler Murray is still great, but he's just got to grow up. Hurts to me though. I think is going to be. I mean, I almost said Mahomes, but what the hell is his name? I already forgot his name. Kingsbury. Who's quarterback coach at USC now, which is pretty interesting. Wonder how that's gonna be with Caleb. How do you feel about that, Spence?
I don't hate it. I don't really think it's gonna play that much of a role in Caleb's performance.
Caleb's gonna think he can big dog him
Wow.
just like himself.
Have you guys seen the score to this game right now?
45-28.
Oh my
Denver.
God,
Dude,
Denver's
that's horrible.
whopping.
It was 20-15 when we started.
Who's clipping? Michael Porter Jr.
I haven't been watching.
He's the X Factor.
Dang, Miami's kind of coming back a little bit. They've made it less than an ass beating. They're only down by 18 now. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I totally lied. Down by 28.
Jesus.
That math wrong. But yeah, no, I think back to the question. I don't know. Honestly, dude, this quarterback draft class is just so weird. We could see. Honestly, after the first pick, it could be. Honestly, with the first pick, it could be anyone. It really could be anyone. It could be. I don't think it's Anthony Richardson.
Dude, the Panthers have just been dumbasses in the past that we could just see them doing anything, right? I could see Anthony Richardson 100%. I could see them doing it.
Yeah, because I mean, remember what year was it when Baker was the number one pick? Who was who was the quarterback that year?
That was supposed to go one.
Because remember, it was like the day of the draft. It was like rumors Baker
might go
like
one.
Baker might go number one, and then he ended up going number one.
And we were all just like, no,
dude. That wasn't the year Rosen got drafted, was it? It might have been, because I think that was the year that the Cardinals drafted Rosen.
Might be right. So 2018.
But yeah, this quarterback draft class is just so iffy. Personally,
every NFL draft class is.
But I feel like usually, other than this year and last year, it's always been surefire, like who the top guy is going to be, or who the top two guys are going to be. And yes, that is kind of how it's going right now with Bryce Young and
Sam. Yeah, 5 quarterbacks selected in the first round: Baker, Sam, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and Lamar.
Sam
Darnold.
Holy shit!
Remember, he was gonna go number 1.
Oh, that was the year that Darnold was supposed to go 1, huh? Because he went 2 to the Jets or 3 to the Jets.
Yep. Who would have fucking thought, dude?
God, that draft class is
interesting. Dude, the Cards could have had Lamar instead of Josh Rosen.
Cards could have had probably Baker Mayfield or Patrick Mahomes. They were picking that draft.
That's crazy, bro.
But yeah, I don't know. This quarterback draft class is very interesting. I like you said, it could be Anthony Richardson. Who knows? Like, honestly, who really knows? But do I think C.J. Stroud's going to be the best quarterback in this draft?
I got Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis. Wait, no, Hendon Hooker, Will Levis. In that order.
I like Hooker a lot. I feel like he could be a sleeper. He could be the best in this class.
100%. Hooker's the oldest, so he could come in the most ready.
Did you see a lot of scouts and teams are like really staying away from Stetson Bennett?
Yeah.
A report came out that said like a lot of teams think he might go undrafted.
I think he's going to be good. Like, I think he's a good pick.
I don't think he's going to be undrafted, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of teams are staying away from him.
I would love if the Cowboys got him.
Why?
100%.
Why?
Be a good backup.
I guess. I think the problem with him was he's what? He's 25, right? He's 25. But because one of the things that was flagged in this
Cowboys pick him.
This article that I read was that teams are just worried about his behavior, and that.
Fuck it.
But I mean, dude, he's 25 in college.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
We picked up Will Grier, so we don't give a fuck about behavior.
He's 25 in college. Like, it's not. He's a college. He's a grown man in college. Like, obviously, he's living a college life, so he's have some fun. That kind of plays into got in trouble. We've seen guys get drafted to the NFL or who are still playing in the NFL for a lot worse. So if public intoxication is why.
I mean, Jalen Carter is going to go top 20 with way worse allegations.
Probably top 10 still.
He's not getting past the Eagles.
He didn't take a single pre-draft visit from a team outside the top 10, which is, in my opinion,
recommended by his agent.
So ignorant. Sorry. I think that's so ignorant.
I don't think it is.
I think that's just dumb.
Why?
Because you got team. This is the fucking NFL, dude. This is the NFL. You got an NFL team who wants to meet with you. Why would you not take that opportunity regardless? What if that team wanted to trade up and get you?
Bro, there is a guy Justin told me today. I want to say maybe it's the D lineman out of Pitt. The guy that was getting comparisons to Aaron Donald. Didn't take a single team bid.
Really?
Not one.
See, that to me is ignorant. Sorry, that's just weird to me.
That's way more ignorant than knowing your worth and not going outside the top 10.
I agree with you, but like I said, I still think an NFL team wants to meet with you. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I know. I agree with you. I mean, if I was in that position, I definitely would.
I get what you're saying as well, because like if you know you're a top 10 player, then yeah, it's kind of like
don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short. But at the same time, it's kind of like what if a team
anything could happen. I mean,
like a team like Dallas, like both of our teams are outside the top 10, Dallas and Pittsburgh, but they're both like historic franchises. Like one of those two teams calls you and is like, yeah, we're interested. We want to visit you, and you tell a team like that, no, like, nope, sorry, I'm going top 10. I don't want to talk to you. Like, you get what I'm saying?
No,
like
100%. That'd be wild. That'd be
like,
wild.
The Super Bowl champion Chiefs, they're picking 31st. Like, they just won the Super Bowl last year. They got a team that could win the Super Bowl every year. You're gonna say no to them? Like, it's just, I think about it in that situation. Like,
no, then you're making a lot of sense. I didn't even think about it like that.
If a team who like is a top 16 pick, like the Commanders or something, yeah, then I would probably be like,
watch a team trade up and he just gets booted from the first 10.
That's what I'm saying. It's like anything could happen. Anything could happen. But
yeah, the draft is wild.
Thanks for the question, John. Appreciate it.
Shout out John Everett. We fucking went off on that question too. I mean, we're going stupid tonight on Sweep and Social.
Do this every time.
Yeah, we do. We can't help it. Next question. Obviously, we're talking draft. This one can be a quick one because mentally, I can't make that many comparisons. I can't carbon copy each draft class. But
next week,
Steven Lesevsky wants to know. Shout out the boy, Steve. Do you think this draft class is one of the stronger or weaker classes we have seen recently?
I think what we've been seeing, and it's been a trend in the most recent drafts, is we're seeing the skilled player positions dominate more. I think it's because the way that the NFL...
True. At least in the advertisement.
Yeah, the way that the NFL and the way that the game is changing, it's all about speed. So I don't think necessarily these classes are weak, less weak, more weak, stronger. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's just more how... This is just what talent is coming out of the draft or coming out of college that year. Because, yes, obviously when I say it like that, you can say like last year, like this year's quarterback class, way stronger than last year's quarterback class. No doubt. I think it's just more of like what the needs are in the NFL at the time. And right now it's all speed. It's like if you don't hit on a guy this year, you could hit on a guy who's exactly like if we're looking at there's 5 really great receivers in this draft. And if you don't hit on one of those guys next year, there's just going to be 5 more next year that are going to be just as good. I mean,
there's not that many good receivers.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably Marvin Harrison Jr. could be like number 1 pick next year type, especially seeing how good these wide receivers are coming out of the draft, like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Like
the receivers this year are not that good.
The receivers this year are not that great. Yes, so I guess to answer Steve's question,
it depends position wise.
Yeah, it really just depends because this is another really strong defensive.
Also, who are we to say? We don't know.
100%. This is also a really strong defensive draft class, which we've been seeing a lot lately too. It's
good D linemen, good pass rushers.
I think it really just depends on how you view each draft.
And either way, they're gonna hype up these guys anyway.
I feel like we
don't really know what we're gonna get until we see that product on the field.
I feel like the only way you can really say if a draft class is strong or weak is based on honestly, based on the quarterbacks. Like, because to me, dude, there's 7 rounds, 260 picks. Yeah. Like, you could pick literally anybody at any point in time, and they could make or break that draft class. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, Antonio Brown was picked in the 6th round, and he's one of the people talk about him being a top 5 receiver all time. But when they looked back at his draft class, they were probably saying, "Oh, this draft class is really weak in the wide receiver position because of these top 5 guys." But the number 1 wide receiver was picked in the 6th round. Like, it really just kind of depends
just because someone's high on them or not high on the board doesn't mean he's going to translate.
Exactly.
You know?
But you said it best already. You really can't tell until you see the production on the field. Because in terms of athletic ability, I mean,
they all look fire.
They all look fantastic every single year.
Yeah.
Like, That's what I hate.
They all look promising on paper.
That's what I hate when people are like, and I love that the Pat McAfee show has actually been doing this. I don't know how long they've been doing this, but I saw it today. The segment where they're like, the NFL is hard, and they're going over like talking about all these players who were really great in college, but they were busts in the NFL. Like people who.
Yeah, they said it best today. They said, I mean, at least 25 of these guys are going to be busts in the first round.
At least 25 of them are going to be busts.
Or in their fans' eyes, busts.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, we all do it. We all fall victim to saying, like, oh, like, this guy sucks. Like, you're not good. But, like, these dudes make it to the NFL. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's hard. You remember growing up in high school and fucking all of our teachers used to, I guess now that I think about it, kind of put us down in a way. They'd be like, oh, like, this is a statistic for professional athletes. Only less than 1% of you will make. But, like, it's true. It's a fact. Like, these guys are all.
We played against guys in the NFL. They're different than us.
Oh, yeah. They're you could tell. You can tell.
They're just different than us.
They're different. But yeah, I guess to answer Steven's question, like you already said, it's just hard. You really can't know until.
Fuck our parents, dude. Could have gave us better genetics. We would have made it.
Yeah, they could have, you know.
Could have made.
Why is my dad 6'4", but I'm 5'10"?
They fucked us.
5'9". Lied to you guys. 5'9".
Height reveal on the pod?
Height reveal. 5'9", baby.
Oh.
5'9", and I'm proud.
Be demon, though.
Okay. Hey, low-key, I was
Wait,
fast.
so you're finally admitting I'm taller than you?
I've already said this guy's like.
Yeah, you always like to
This
press
guy's
me.
like literally less than half an inch taller than me. And
I'm definitely.
Hey, every inch counts, right, Spence?
Oh, yeah.
But it's not even a whole inch.
It's a whole inch.
Nope. But yeah, what were we saying before that? I lost my train of thought because Spencer cut me off about my freaking height. We're talking about sideline banter here, okay? We're not talking about height, all right?
Talking about the
Dude,
draft
we're
class.
revealing heights, man. It was relevant.
Just the draft class and how we can't really tell anything until we see the product.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, but I'm sorry, Steve. I can't really answer your question until you know we get to see these guys play.
No, I agree with your sentiment. I think that the draft classes are hard to judge because there's always these teams that seemingly recur on the bottom. The bottom feeders of the draft that need a quarterback every year, that need these cornerstone pieces, and then they just continue to find themselves in the depths of the draft, trying to get the best player to improve their team, and they somehow can't make it work. And that's part of the reason that these teams continue to be in the bottom, is because they can't hit on draft picks. And that's because a vast majority of these players end up not working out with a lot of these franchises, whether that be, player-coach relationship, situationally, mentally at that time, emotionally, physically. There's just so many factors that play into the reason why we may see a player not be a X factor like originally thought on a team, and then go somewhere else and have great success, or not play again because they just can't, for whatever reason, make it at that team and not be given another opportunity. I mean, it's really, really hard to tell. Obviously, I think this quarterback, draft class is better than last year's, like Cooper said. A lot better than last year's. Receiver-wise, I think it's really weak. Pass rusher-wise, I think it's strong.
There was an elite quarterback taken last year, though.
No, there wasn't. Brock Purdy, yeah, you're right.
No, two elite quarterbacks. Right?
Was definitely
two elite quarterbacks. Two.
We'll see. The jury's still out.
Two elite.
Elite receiver for him. George Pickens, I think, is going to be a top 5 receiver in the league this year.
Hey, we just loaded up, too. Allen Robinson.
He's brought in to be a mentor because George Pickens is NBA young boy of the NFL, and you guys have no fucking veterans in that receiver room.
Whoa.
Deontay is not a veteran. Whoa. He couldn't even catch a screen to save his damn life.
First of all,
let's not get into it. That's definitely one of the weaker.
People criticize his drops, but he didn't even have the most drops last year in the NFL.
Yeah, Spence, pull up the clips from last year whenever we say this and Cooper agrees because he gets mad because Deontay is a drop machine.
I definitely will agree with you that
he's just defending him because it's the offseason.
I will agree with you that he drops the football, but he does not drop the most balls in the NFL.
No. Actually, I bet you he's top 5 in drops last year. Gotta be.
I'll look it up.
Gotta be. But Steve, we're definitely going to find out about this draft class. I'm interested to see how the order shakes up. But we'll see how these rookies perform this year. I mean, there's a lot of good rookies in the last class, so I don't know. Everybody's fast. Everybody's big. Everybody seems to be, more and more hyped every single year coming out, and I think it's just because of the social media age, but I guess we'll see. All right, boys. We got some NBA talk. Our boy Evane Gilbert, he wants to know best NBA or NBA playoff player so far. Who's been the most impactful for their team?
You want to know who had the most drops last year? Jamar Chase. You want to know who wasn't in the top 5? Deontay Johnson.
Probably because he just had no targets. Jamar had a hella target. All right, who is top 5?
Jamar Chase, Gabe Davis, Gerald Everett, Higbee,
Two
Jones,
tight ends on the same team.
Kelsey, Barkley, Cooper, Diggs, Dobbs, Eckler, Johnson.
I want to know the percentages.
Yeah, because that's dude. All those players have helly targets, huh?
Helly.
Deontay Johnson is literally the number 1 receiver on our team. How did he not have also hella targets?
Maybe they're counting his screen drops as like behind the line of scrimmage.
No.
That could
But
be.
that doesn't count as a rushing stat. It counts as a catch,
No, it's a lateral. So.
not a screen. The lateral is when they motion and
I guess he's
and they
right.
drop it in front of them.
I don't know. It's like we're just on a skewed site.
I mean, I was on NBC Sports, which I feel like is pretty legit.
I would never. Just kidding. All right, NBA players, boys, playoffs so far. Who do you think is the most impactful? I'll go first. I already have mine loaded. I don't know if you guys are ready. Russell Westbrook, give it to me. Definitely came out and shocked the Suns at home. Got the first win of the series. Kawhi obviously had 38 points. Went stupid for them, but Russ had definitely had a bad shooting night. Was not able to fill the stat sheet points-wise or field goal percentage. Was really, really low. Took a lot of shots and was not able to hit. But
Wasn't he 3 for 19?
Yeah, 3 for 19 was very, very poor. But the effort that he was able to show on the defensive floor, hustling, offensive rebounds, it was uncanny. I mean, Russ really was the spark plug in that game that propelled the Clippers, past that threshold, I think, to be able to beat a loaded Suns roster. He was able to get inside Chris Paul's head. It seemed like on that mid-range cut that Chris Paul always has that pull-up at the mid-range. It was not working against Russ. Russ was in there fighting for every rebound, throwing the ball off of guys when it was about to go out of bounds. Just doing the shit that really makes the difference in a playoff basketball game. And to me, that just solidifies that he is a difference maker so far. Yeah, we saw him in game 2 show up as a scorer, was able to hit 2 or 3 3-pointers, I believe, in that game that were really, really clutch. Started the game with a 3-pointer, actually. But also when they needed it, they were able to go to Russ, and he actually came in clutch when they needed it. So I think so far Russell Westbrook has outperformed expectations as an LA Clipper and really shut up a lot of doubters that were maybe sleeping on him or trashing him when he was in LA for whatever reason. As a Laker, it just didn't work out. And
for whatever reason, bro, there's like 3-minute compilations of him not even hitting the backboard.
He was pretty bad when he was.
Maybe that was self-sabotage. Maybe he was trying to get his way out of Laker Town and wasn't really, happy there for whatever reason. Playing with Bron, we know, is a big duty. Not every player, really likes that, especially the superstar type players. Playing with the greatest of all time could definitely be, I think, a little bit irking. But Russ has really transformed himself and slid into his role behind Kawhi Leonard and injured Paul George in this Clippers lineup and stood up when they needed him. So he's my most impactful player for so far. 100%. Shout out Russ. Honor the gift. Going crazy.
I won't go too in-depth as you did, but I think De'Aaron Fox, especially the way that they've been leading the series.
Preach.
Yeah, he's been going crazy. I mean, Domantas Sabonis.
Fuck that guy. Pussy, though.
Yeah, but he's kind of going crazy, too. I don't know. I like the...
Fox is next level, dude.
I know...
He is so...
I got to give Coop, his props because he called it. Kings definitely winning the series so far.
That's Coop's thing, dude. I can't hear
I think
it.
I'm a Kings fan now, honestly.
Dude, they're exciting to watch. I'm honestly looking forward to this series so much because it's the battle of the North, for Northern California.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know. I really like seeing this Kings team, not being in the playoffs for so long. And De'Aaron Fox is just...
He's making
for
that
a lot
step as a superstar.
Yeah, a lot of time there was, he was really high of one of the draft picks, and everyone thought he was going to do something, and then thought he was kind of a overrated player for a while. And I think he's kind of popping off right now and showing that he really is the real. I like watching him. I think he's
he gets to the basket like no other, man.
Yeah, I think he's going to carry
them
through this series and hopefully, get deep into the playoffs.
Great answer.
So I was gonna say De'Aaron Fox as well, but I did have another person just in case, because I figured one of us was going to say De'Aaron Fox. And my most impactful, important, I would say definitely impactful player is Torrey Craig for the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
He's really stepped up in these last 2 games. First game specifically, even though they did lose, he still finished with 22 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound. He went 9 for 12. Field goals, 2 for 4 from the 3, which
last night he went stupid.
In a losing effort, kind of. I mean, you obviously love to see it because he's not one of your starters, but seeing him put up points like that is obviously in the playoffs. When he got the starting role, I know a lot of people were kind of questioning why Monty was starting him. And then last night, 17 points, 6 for 9 field goal, 5 for 8 from the 3, again, shooting very well from the 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And, adding that with D-Book scoring, I think 38 last night. KD had over 10 or had over 20 points last night. I think he had 24 points.
Yep. You need that too when campaign's out.
Yes, adding another player who is now showing consistently that he can get 15 plus points a game, can impact the game with his 3-point shooting, can impact the game with his rebounds and assists aren't as high, but in a series like this, where with the Clippers and Suns, where it's going to be a scoring matchup, very important to know that you have, because let's be honest here, Chris Paul isn't the same scorer, I think, as he used to be. He's always been a floor general, but now he's really, I think, playing that role a lot more than he has in the past, especially now that they have KD and D-Book.
He doesn't have to do as much.
Yeah, they're not having to worry about. Chris Paul doesn't have to go out there and drop 25 points for them to win.
He'd still be taking his shots, though,
I mean, dude, first game he led the team in rebounds. He had 11. He out-rebounded DeAndre Ayton in the first game.
That guy's a question.
Chris Paul's the guy who's gonna go out there and he's gonna do everything, kind of like a Russ, where even if he's not playing well shooting, Chris Paul's gonna go out there and he's gonna still affect the game in many other ways that can help your team. And knowing that you can confidently go to a third scorer now, like Torrey Craig, who you hope can keep it up throughout this playoffs, to me, I think you have to love that as a Sun, especially considering Shamit has playing not that great. Why am I spacing? Payne is out with an injury right now. Who, as much hate as Payne gets, he's a pretty solid role player for that Phoenix Suns team. Considering they traded pretty much their whole bench away for KD, you love to see. That was the biggest problem I feel like we've seen. KD wasn't playing. The Suns team was trying to find their new identity without Johnson, without Mikal. And they struggled a little bit before KD was able to play. And now we're seeing that obviously they've only lost 1 game since KD has been in the rotation officially as a Phoenix player. Torrey Craig definitely is an impactful player right now in the playoffs.
Yeah, I like that answer. And I think it's definitely concurrent with what you were talking about earlier as well, is that we got to see if the Suns are going to be able to keep this up, because all their big name players played over 40 minutes.
My biggest worry with them right now, I don't think they're, even if they win this series, they're not going to be able to sustain that.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning, and a lot of that problem stems from what you said. They traded away their bench. They're not deep by any means. And without campaign right now, it just hurts them all the more, because they have a 39-year-old point guard in Chris Paul that can't rest as much as he needs to. And they're playing guys like Ish Wainwright and Okanobi, and
Kevin Durant played 44 minutes last night. Kevin Durant played, oh my gosh, my uploading. Kevin Durant played 44 minutes. Torrey Craig played 32. Ayton played 32. Paul played 38. Booker played 45. And Okogie played 15. Biyombo played 15. Shamit played 14. And TJ Warren only played 2. Wainwright played 1. Seemingly played 3. I understand it's playoff time.
Not a deep team right now.
When you look at Clippers minutes, Batum played 19, which he's a starter, but
Batum's a great player off the bench.
But Batum played 19 minutes. Leonard only played.
He's a starter?
Yeah, he started for them. He started the last 2 games. Batum played 19 minutes. Kawhi played 39. Zubac played 29. Westbrook played 36. Gordon played 32. But then you see right here, this is the difference. The Clippers bench, Plumlee played 14. Island played 14. Mann played 26. And Powell played 28. Like, they got 2 guys coming off the bench playing 20-plus minutes, where the Suns got 2 guys playing 15. 3 guys playing 14 or more, technically because they had 2 guys who played 15, but it's the depth. The depth is what I'm worried about here with Phoenix Suns team. Outside of their starting 5, who are you honestly confident in on that bench? Who are you? The Clippers.
Got to be Craig, like you said.
The
Craig
Clippers
has to continue to show out.
But Craig is a starter. He started the last 2 games for them.
Oh,
he has been starting. Craig played 32.
that bench is hurting.
Craig played 32 minutes.
Oh wow.
Last night. I can't. My laptop is spazzing, so I can't get the other. But still, the Clippers got a bench where anybody on that Powell could score.
Powell's good player.
Powell could go lights out any night. Man could go lights out any night. Like they have guys on that bench that could really turn the series around at any moment in time, literally at any moment. So that to me is my biggest worry with the Phoenix Suns right now. Even if they find a way to win this, I mean, even right here, game 1. Game 1, Plumlee played 18 minutes, Highland 13, Mann 24, Powell 23. Like both of Mann and Powell consistently are playing 20+ minutes.
Mann's a good defender, and Powell's a good ball player. He can shoot the 3 and also threaten you off the dribble.
In game 1, Powell played 20.
Both play good defense.
Powell played 23 minutes, 14 points. Mann 24 minutes, 10 points. Where Shamet played 24 minutes for the Suns in game 1, only scored 4 points. Like.
Okay.
Craig played 27 minutes in first game. It's like this. I don't know.
That's why the Clippers scare me as a Suns fan, is because they are a deeper team. Like it definitely shows when they're playing as well. Like our star players have to show out significantly and play a lot of minutes if we're going to beat them, because they play high intensity defense.
The thing is, as well, the Suns have KD. KD could turn it on at any moment, which, from what I saw last night, was pretty much the story of the closing first half. Suns were down. Kind of big before halftime, and they ended up tying it up with a hot streak from KD and Book. So
Book went off in the third.
Book went off in the third. Yeah, I still think, dude, I don't even know. I don't even remember who I picked for this series when we picked the playoff. I think I picked Phoenix, but I was pretty high on Clippers. Anybody could win this. Anybody could win this series. You know, it's really, really, really questionable. I don't know how Phoenix can win this. If this goes to 7, I don't see Phoenix winning, just because if they're going to play their starters like this every single night, tough for them to be energized to play. You know what I mean? Because then what? They're going to go 7 games with LA. But their starters all of them playing 35+ minutes a night, and then they got to roll into a second round playoff series against probably, I don't remember who it was, but I mean, like, imagine one of them. Imagine Phoenix playing the Sacramento team right now, where they're high energy especially going into that stadium right now.
And they're young. And
De'Aaron Fox, we've said it multiple times watching him.
They're deep too. Mm-hmm. They're pretty deep.
Yeah, so it's Phoenix.
Playoffs are interesting.
Phoenix
right now.
might be in trouble. I don't want to say they're in trouble yet, but they got to win. Obviously, they have to win a game in LA. If they can win both games in LA, that would be stellar for them. But man, we'll see.
Shout out Evan for the question. That concludes sweeping the socials this week. We had good participation. Little 4-banger of questions. Definitely got our combos started. Where do you want to go from here?
I think it's only right to transition into a little NFL. Jalen Hurts getting a fat contract. 5 years, $255 million. Getting his contract. Another quarterback getting their contract before Lamar Jackson.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Weston, how do you feel about this contract extension? Do you think this is something that Jalen Hurts, I don't want to say deserves, because I think all these dudes deserve to get money, and I want to see all these guys get paid. But do you think this is a contract that
you think he's worth it?
Yeah, do you think he's worth this deal?
I mean, in Philly, you can't argue his success so far. His first season was very successful and took a team without A.J. Brown, to new heights offensively. Really showed us an Eagles team that we hadn't seen since their, playoff Super Bowl run, when Carson Wentz was obviously firing on all cylinders. They finished that season with Nick Foles. So now we see a guy that's solidified as a quarterback that could be the face of the franchise, someone that's durable.
I would say he's probably the face of the franchise right now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when he kind of took over.
Yeah.
In that season previous to the Super Bowl one last year, because that was for me before they got AJ Brown, before they, solidified themselves as this superpower because they got those players on defense and fixed their holes and went on this run to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts made vast improvements from that year 1 to year 2 and came in, and there was question marks about him going into the season. Obviously, a lot of people were high on him to win the MVP. Nobody quite.
He was MVP favorite for majority of the season, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. He was outplaying, what we kind of thought, and obviously everybody got on the Jalen Hurts train because it was moving full steam ahead, and he was, like you said, a favorite for the MVP race. I think this contract is strategic for the Eagles. Obviously, they made him the highest paid player in the NFL, but we are going to see Joe Burrow get a contract. Lamar Jackson probably get a contract here if it's not from the Ravens, from another team potentially, or him get a franchise tender. But either way,
he's on the franchise tender already.
Well, he hasn't signed it.
Yeah, he hasn't signed it.
So you either have up next Herbert and Burrow obviously getting paid for sure, and Lamar in the whims as far as what his contract could be like. This is something that the Eagles knew that they needed to get done now because they would have absolutely no leverage if Jalen Hurts, as a motivated guy that we've seen before, take them back to the Super Bowl. He is going to demand an unreal amount of money.
Who?
Hurts. If he ended up replicating the success that he had last year before getting paid, and then those other guys get paid simultaneously, he would.
So you're saying Philadelphia kind of saved themselves.
This was a strategic signing, and they saved themselves.
I mean, regardless, it's a massive contract.
100%. But the contracts we're going to see from Burrow and Herbert in the coming seasons or season is going to blow this one out of the water.
A hot take for when you're done.
Yeah. Either way, I just see the Eagles doing this strategically. Obviously, they're not going to let go to Jalen Hurts, a great guy in the community, a great guy for their team, someone that they've already solidified as the face of the franchise. He's not going anywhere. Let's sign him now and get him locked up so that we don't have to pay him $30 more million when Burrow and Herbert get paid, because they're going to reset the market. I
agree with you. This was definitely a strategic move by Philadelphia.
But well-deserved. Super worth it, in my opinion.
Super well-deserved. I like Hurts. I'm a huge fan of Jalen Hurts. So
me too.
This contract to me doesn't bother me that much. I do think I don't think you can necessarily compare this contract with Lamar Jackson's, which I know a lot of people are trying to do. Because when you look at Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts, they're both very different. Jalen Hurts is 26-18-1 as a career starter. He hasn't played as many games as Lamar, obviously hasn't played as long. Lamar, I believe, has 35 wins, back up there with Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, yes, that's the goal when you're the quarterback. You want to win as many games as possible to win the big game. You get the Super Bowl ring. And a lot of people have been using the argument with Lamar Jackson that he's an MVP, literally an MVP caliber quarterback. He should be getting paid. And I feel like you can't that argument with this, because Jalen Hurts did what Lamar hasn't done, and at the end of the day is the most important thing, and he's gotten his team to the Super Bowl. Not only did he get his team to the Super Bowl, he got his team to the Super Bowl there in dominating fashion.
And sooner than Lamar. That's why I think he got the deal before.
Week in and week out, Eagles looked either better than they did the week before, or they looked the same. And when I say the same, I mean they looked still continuously dominant.
They went on a dominant run.
They were and honestly, a lot of people were saying Brock Purdy hadn't gotten hurt, like it'd be different. I still think the Eagles would have won that game. I still would have picked the Eagles to win that game. I mean, at one point it looked like they were going to win the Super Bowl, but I mean, it's another thing we've said, like, can anybody really beat Patrick Mahomes at this, other than the greatest player of all time, Tom Brady? Like, literally, Tom Brady is the only person really at this point that has shown that he can beat Patrick Mahomes. Outside of Tom Brady, there's really nobody else that you can look at and be like, that guy is better than Patrick Mahomes. Him in this moment. Every time
nobody's better than Patrick.
Every time Patrick Mahomes has been kept from a Super Bowl, it's been Brady. Brady beat him in all those AFC Championship games, and he beat him in the one Super Bowl. So it's hard to really look at Jalen Hurts' loss in the Super Bowl and discredit him for that because he was going up against Mahomes. Nah, I mean, hey, we'll see.
He said no.
We'll see.
The confidence. Come on.
But my hot take that I referenced earlier is I think Herbert's going to get paid like we paid.
Oh.
I don't think so. If they don't go to the playoffs this year,
the success as far as playoffs and no MVPs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put up all the stats you want.
True.
And don't get me wrong, Hurts is an incredible football player. He's an incredible
Why is it just
quarterback.
commonly understood that he's going to get the bag and a half?
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Like, if the Chargers don't go to the playoffs this year, one, you would imagine Staley probably gets fired.
He's definitely on the hot
He's definitely
seat.
on the hot seat. If the Chargers don't make the playoffs by an astronomical margin in terms of win-loss, Staley definitely gets fired. How do you turn around and reward your quarterback? He's still going to get a contract. He's still going to get paid.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be anything near what Jalen Hurts is getting, what Burrow's going to get, what Lamar's going to get, hopefully what Lamar's going to get. Because Hurts hasn't done anything. Quarterback, he's done enough to show that he's definitely a top 10 quarterback in this league. Sometimes you could debate that he is a top 5 quarterback in this league, without a doubt. I think realistically, you have to say he's in that top 7 to 8 range.
Lamar?
No, Herbert.
Yeah. Depends, man.
And I just don't think I don't know. I don't see him getting. Burrow's going to get paid because the Bengals are literally the Bengals because of him.
Yeah, 100%.
Bengals are relevant now because of Joe Burrow. And yes, obviously they have Jamar Chase.
Joe Burrow is that team.
But yeah, Joe Burrow is that team. I hate this Jalen Hurts deal. I think I like him a lot, and I think they're going to continue to be good. I don't think there's going to be any slowing down anytime soon with the Philadelphia team. They love Nick Sirianni. They clearly love Jalen Hurts. They got a team of dogs over there. They love A.J. Brown.
Brought some players back on defense, but also lost some players.
Brought some players back. Jason Kelsey's coming back for another year. Like they've got pretty much the exact same roster. I wouldn't be surprised if we back in this same position next year. Maybe
they also
not
play in a
Super
tough
Bowl.
division.
They definitely play in a tough division.
Cowboys are in there, right?
They definitely play in a tough division, but I mean, obviously that didn't seem to matter this year.
Oh, really? We didn't beat them.
You guys beat them. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm trying to
I
ask.
remember when she was playing. Shut up.
Was it with Dak or was it with? I'm not trying to talk shit. I genuinely don't remember.
They beat us.
Was it Dak or was it?
Beat
us.
Was it Kush? They beat us, Jalen Hurts,
with Cooper Kush,
with
right?
Kush, and we beat them, Dak, against Minshew.
I honestly was. I just didn't remember. It is kind of and the game with Minshew was kind of a shootout. I do remember
Minshew
that.
was stupid.
Yeah, I do remember that. Minshew's honestly not bad.
We had
though.
no tape on him.
I don't think Minshew's bad.
He's a starting quarterback in Indianapolis Colts.
Is he is he play for Indy?
He is the starting quarterback for
Indy?
the Colts.
I kind of hope, dude. I honestly hope they ride with him.
That'd be wild.
Odds.
Yeah, so we've yet to see Dak Amaya versus newfound Jalen Hurts success. So that's going to be a matchup this year to look out for.
I
mean, yeah, it's a great division right now.
Oh, actually.
And what if the Commanders get Lamar?
Wait a second.
What?
Let's see what.
Only division in the last 25 years we haven't have a repeat winner.
Danny Dimes just signed. I love that this article actually has him listed as Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes just signed a 4-year, $160 million contract to stay with the New York Giants. I'm trying to see because we've seen 2 quarterbacks get paid this offseason, right? Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones. Am I missing anybody?
I don't think so.
You would have to imagine Lamar Jackson falls in between those 2 contracts, if not somewhere close to Jalen Hurts.
Facts.
I think
just because of the Super Bowl's playoff success,
yes.
Jalen Hurts goes ahead.
I think because now we're starting to see reports that Lamar was offered a contract by Baltimore that apparently he's like considering. There was like one that was like $200 million guaranteed or something.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows, bro? All that speculation shit is for the birds.
And
we don't know shit.
I love Lamar. I love him so much, but I can't wait until the draft next week. Like the only thing that has been NFL news has been Lamar.
Because there's nothing else to talk about. They have to fixate on it.
And well, seeing Jalen Hurts get paid too is kind of interesting. Shout out Spencer for finding this graphic as well. The way that players are paid too, when you look at it, it's just kind of it really is incredible when you see how these guys really do be getting paid. That's kind of why sometimes, like, I get why people complain why these players are like not showing up to play, but like also at the same time, it's like these putting their bodies on the line. Jason Kelsey only getting 14 contracts, only 14.25 million. Like, he plays center. That dude's literally getting rocked every play. Like, if he wanted to hold out and get a new contract, wouldn't blame him. You know what I mean? It's like,
but he's old. He's on a 1-year deal. He's getting 14.25 next year. So that's, I mean, you can't.
I didn't realize McCaffrey was the highest paid running back either.
I would not have guessed that 100 at all. But running backs don't really get paid like that anymore, huh?
Million's a lot.
He's pretty much a receiver. I mean, damn near. I heard an interesting take out of Michael Lombardi on the Pat Show. They were talking about, draft prospects, and he was comparing Jahmyr Gibbs to Alvin Kamara, which I was saying earlier in the year. I think they're very, very similar. He doesn't think Bijan is worth, a top pick unless you can really, really be confident that you can flex him out of the slot and he could be a pass catcher.
Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about Bijan being like a top 5, top 10 pick.
Potentially, and that's something that we haven't seen since, Ezekiel Elliott, and he couldn't really catch the ball. He wasn't a guy that you could flex out like that. He could obviously catch you a screen and run that bitch, but the running back is used in such a different facet now, and we saw the position completely evolve from what we've seen, on teams that like the Chargers, for instance. 70% of their scores are coming from the running back position, and he's catching it,
and they're refusing to pay him.
Exactly, he's catching the ball. So
same thing with Le'Veon Bell. He was running the ball 200 plus times a year, but he also was
catching 100 balls,
75, 80 catches a season.
Yeah, which is unheard of as a receiver, but he really reset that position as far as these guys that are going to hold out and expect top dollar. They're doing the work of a receiver and a running back. So a running back, I don't think is worth that top 10 pick unless you can consider him a weapon in that he has solidified hands and the ability to go run a one-on-one route as a flexed out wide receiver option.
Yeah, it's the way that some of these players, like Darren Waller's the highest paid tight end.
I mean, he just got a new deal. But it is showing that it's on the Raiders, so that's weird because he's on the Giants now. He has a new deal, but his was probably 3 years, $51 million. So he's getting, these don't have the years on them, so they are a little misleading. They don't show the years; they just show the grand
morning
total.
Quarterback too, which is surprising to me. The graphic is so I
think it's more so just they're not showing the years, so
showing
it
what
can
their
be
total payout is.
The total payout of the contract, which is whatever, but the numbers are a little skewed because players have incentives, they're all different year length contracts. Mahomes is making $500 million over his contract, so he would, and
he's making over 5. He could make potentially over.
Yeah, significantly. I'm sure he already probably is on trajectory to do that.
He's probably already soaring with flying colors over all.
I wouldn't be surprised if he owns part of the Chiefs when he.
Yeah, probably. I wonder if there's a way to find out what his incentives are in his contract, but
his breakdown's probably ridiculous just because they obviously are going to keep him there on a lifetime deal. They're going to probably restructure. His deal probably has 6 years left, 4 years left, whatever. But either way, yeah, I think this graphic's a little bit skewed, but it is interesting to look because you definitely see, the value in these players. A left tackle's getting paid, significantly more than the highest paid tight end in the league. That shows you projecting the main asset, which is the quarterback, is so valuable in the NFL. And with that said, you're also seeing, a right guard get paid $102 million a year. That's just ridiculous in comparison to.
Dude, his fucking contract is unreal. Holy shit. Looking at it right now, it's
a mega deal. It's the biggest deal.
$63 million guaranteed at signing. For 2023, he gets his 2023 salary plus his roster bonus plus workout bonus fully guaranteed. It's $100 million of total dead cap. His salary is pretty much the exact same. And then his bonuses, he gets a playoff bonus every year, $1.25 million for winning the AFC Championship game. He gets a league MVP bonus, $1.25 million, and he has a no trade clause. So yeah, he's pretty much. Holy shit! Yeah,
Domantas Sabonis.
That is dude. That's actually insane. His base salary for this year was $5,500,000. Yearly cash that he made this year was $40,450,000.
Man's paid. And aren't you a big fan of his brother?
Nope. You are though. Dude, that's what's so crazy.
Corvette.
He makes $37 million next year. In the year 2027, he's gonna make $60 million.
Yeah, he's a dog.
That contract is ridiculous, dude.
He will be getting paid.
He's an unrestricted free agent in 2032.
Over $40 million for the rest of his time in the NFL. That's for sure.
Dude, being an NFL quarterback must be incredible. But yeah, Jalen Hurts
being the best quarterback in the NFL.
Being the best quarterback. Yeah, what do you think about that? You think Mahomes? You think he's gonna go down as the greatest?
Yeah.
Because I know you are a massive Aaron Rodgers fan, and you have always said, in terms of mechanics and the way they actually play the game of football, you would say, and I would agree with you at times, that Aaron Rodgers is definitely athletically gifted, the best quarterback to play the game, but it's definitely got to be Mahomes now, right?
It's 100% Mahomes, but I also want you to listen to this. Dylan Brooks in his post-game interview. I don't care. He's old. I don't respect someone until they come and give me 40.
Is he talking about LeBron?
Yes, he is.
Okay, all right, we're done with NFL talk. Let's move to NBA. Move to some NBA talk. Unless there's anything else you want to touch on with the NFL.
Move to the NBA. This guy's a piece of work, man. Holy cow. He is the most annoying player in the NFL or NBA right now, and him and Ja are Batman and Robin, that's for sure, because Jesus Murphy, bro. I am done with the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know how many more times I have to say it, man. I would love the Lakers to knock them out. Like, I'm not even a Lakers fan like that. I obviously troll you about them. I'd like to see, you have a little bit of happiness and then make it to the second round.
I appreciate that.
Love Bron, but fuck these guys, man. This guy is ridiculous. Dylan Brooks needs to be humbled. Bron, go out and give him fucking 80.
Bron played a pretty solid game tonight too. His three-point shooting was off, 1 of 8, but he still went 12 of 23. He dropped 28 points. He had 12 total rebounds, 3 assists, and this guy's over here saying, I don't care, he's old. Got 40 on me. Bro, I hope Bron has This is the thing that I think I've come to realize with Bron, and I really hope he proves me wrong. I don't think he's got that same killer instinct like he used to, and I mean that in terms of, like, remember when he was on Miami and they were down 3-2 to Boston, and there's that meme of him where he looks like he's turning into a demon for the game when he's like on his knees, like looking down at you. Like, I feel like Bron's not that same guy where he's like, oh, Dylan Brooks was talking shit to me, like, I'm gonna go drop 50 on him right now. Like,
he's about to show him what's good.
I hope he does.
I feel like
I just don't think
this comment is something different.
We
bro.
haven't seen Bron do that in a long time.
Nobody be coming at Bron like that because they respect him. He's the king, bro. He demands his respect, bro. Dylan Brooks is talking out the side of his mouth.
No, and
man.
I agree. And I'm not trying to say Bron isn't that player anymore. I do want to backpedal on that a little bit. I think it's more if we haven't seen him do that in so long. Like there's been a couple times, even in their last playoff series against the Suns, where like we were waiting. We're like, all right, next game, Bron is gonna. It's going to be the game where Bron turns it on. He drops 35 and has 35-point triple-double or 35-point double-double with maybe 11 assists and 8 rebounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one of those memorable games. We haven't seen Bron do that. So I'm hoping that now, taking it back to L.A., it's a completely different story. Because I think we can all agree, all of us here, all of you guys at home, Dylan Brooks is the most obnoxious player in the NBA.
Unless you're a Grizzlies fan, you're going to disagree with us. But Jesus.
He has talked shit about LeBron now the last 2 weeks or the last 2 games, and Bron...
I've been getting into his face in the game.
Bron, game 1, had a 21-point double-double.
Almost true.
Which, again, I mean, 21 point... I don't want to say 21 points isn't that big of a deal because, I mean, dropping 21 points in the playoff game is obviously...
I mean, they won. And Hachimura scored...
They won,
20, so
exactly.
He didn't need to do anything.
And he still had it... Exactly. You are 100% correct. But he still had a 21-point double-double. And then this game, he has 28 points. He has another 20-point double-double. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 10 defensive rebounds. Like, oh, dude, it's just it's insane to me that he actually is
disrespect.
Like Dylan Brooks, 5 for 14, 2 of 6 for 3, 12 points. Obviously not a horrible game, but like it's because he hit that 3. We were watching it. He hit that 3 in crunch time, and it wasn't even over Braun. Braun was just playing soft defense, which fortunately Braun I feel like does a lot. And
it wasn't even that, bro.
He got in his
the
face.
ball
like,
kicked to him, and he didn't even have time to close.
100%. You are correct. It's just
Dylan Brooks thought.
Dylan Brooks isn't putting up any numbers like Braun though.
No.
Like, well, what's he talking about? Like he wants him to put up 40. What's he doing?
That's a good point.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's literally right here. It's on my feed right here.
He's capping.
Bro, I can't even believe it's
almost worse than Pat Bev. Pat Bev
cringier.
for a while was.
It's a little bit cringier, damn near.
Yeah,
Pat Bev to me is Pat Bev at least is like.
He has his persona. He's a defensive hustler.
Because Pat Bev will talk shit, yeah, but Pat Bev also has had a lot of really great defensive games that like you can be like, all right, Pat Bev, like talk your shit. You went out there and you locked somebody down. But Dylan Brooks, man, is dude, and the chain he's bro, I can't.
Cringe, bro.
I can't with him. I can't with him. Spencer, you're the Lakers fan. How does this make you feel?
Yeah, Lakers, get up.
No, I just can't wait to see us go back to LA and turn up on them.
All right.
I think this whole fucking Grizzlies team is obnoxious. I don't know. I hate listening to them. So I don't know. Just kind of want to see the Lakers turn up on them. Let their play show.
I think everybody wants to see the Lakers turn up on them that point. Colin Braun old after he's still the best player in the NBA.
He said that. I'm not saying you didn't like. I just listened to it. Oh my God, he really said that. That's the first thing he says is, I don't care. He's old. Like, dude. Oh I hope Braun drops 45 on his head next game. Dude, I can't with this Memphis team. I just can't. I don't mind Ja. Ja, to me, I think just had an identity crisis. He was obviously trying to be somebody he's not. Ja is on the, his real name's Clarence type vibe. I don't know. I'm honestly kind of shook. I wish we would have seen that live. That's insane to me, dude. But yeah, enough about Dylan Brooks. Let's stop giving him all the attention. Quick update to the people. Obviously, you guys have been hopefully paying attention to NBA playoffs. They have been absolutely electric.
Yeah, Minnesota actually started making this a game. It's 70 to 69.
72.
Really?
Yeah, they're back.
70-69.
Okay.
I think Porter Jr.'s clipping.
Yeah, obviously great. The games have all been, honestly, every single game has been fantastic, I think, other than the Milwaukee game tonight and the first game in this Denver series.
I mean, Cleveland blew the fuck out of New York last night, and Boston also has been shitting on.
Yeah, Boston's been shitting on the Hawks.
But that's the thing. I honestly forgot that series has been happening because of how bad it's been.
Dude, the Celtics look scary.
The Celtics are going out of the East this year because Giannis isn't 100%.
I completely agree.
I got Celtics, bro.
For sure.
They look scary, or are they?
Oh, bro, they look good.
I don't think the Hawks are a bad team necessarily, but
me either.
I just think the Celtics are so well rounded. I mean, Jaylen Brown's a fucking dog. Jason Tatum is a little inconsistent. I hope he's kind of working on that.
Jason Tatum's a fucking beast.
He is, but like, there's nights where he shoots like he's not making anything, and he shoots like fucking 12 or 15 points. He's just absent.
They have Brown.
That's what the problem was with when they went to the finals. He just had games where he was off.
Malcolm Brogdon's playing great role player for them right now.
I think he just won 6-man, didn't he?
I think maybe, but they picked up good role players, bro. They got a lot of lot of help. Derek White scored 25 last night. Like, they're getting good help out of their role players right now. Robert Williams, bro, insane. I don't know if you guys watched the game or any of the highlights, but if you go back and watch the highlights, they brought their second unit in, brought Robert Williams in, who looks exactly like Young Nudie. I love watching him play. He literally looks the exact same as Young Nudie. Pull up a side-by-side image. It's really insane how much they look the same. But second unit comes in, and they just continuously drop the ball down to Robert Williams because obviously the Hawks are a smaller team. They don't play a big five. They were just continuously dropping the ball down when Capella was out of the game, needed the rest. Robert Williams was eating. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 possessions in a row. Either got a bucket over top of his defender, or he kicked the ball out for points, and he got assist or offensive rebound. He was the spark plug, arguably like Russell Westbrook for the Clippers. That really helped that Celtics team turn up and pull away from their opponent, dude.
Yeah,
he does look like Young Nudie.
He looks exactly like him. It's crazy,
I
bro.
don't think I really know who young Nudie is or looks like. I know who he is, but I don't really know what he looks like. Yeah, I think I don't know, man. The East to me is just kind of. I don't think it's boring. I just think all of the great playoff matchups are coming out of the West. Like we have a story with Memphis and LA, obviously, with Shannon Sharp and Ja's dad getting in the fight at the begin or during the regular season, and now we have Dylan Brooks chomping at LeBron, and it's just Memphis is a team that people don't like necessarily right now, and.
Well, yeah, you got Ja saying not worried about anybody in the West either.
Yeah, you have
that ignorant shit.
Yeah, you have the Memphis who nobody likes right now, and then you have the Lakers who probably the most hated team in the NBA. So two teams that are not liked overall in general outside of their actual fan bases. And then you obviously have Phoenix and LA Clippers, which anybody in that and either one of those two teams could win the series. And I think that's probably going to be the most exciting series in the first round for sure. Denver, Minnesota is.
Nah.
If Minnesota can win tonight, then they can make it interesting for sure. Sacramento and Golden State
need to get the job done, bro. They're such pretenders.
Sacramento and Golden State, definitely one of the better ones. Probably
this is the first time. It's the first time in the Curry era that they've been down 0-2.
No, I didn't know that.
It's the first time ever.
I believe that 100%. Though they're always.
Yeah, I believe it too. But they played horrible all year on the road.
Yeah, that's true.
They have been a horrible road team. That is actually so true. Which.
Really good at. They don't even have double digits losses at home.
And even, that can really, really be bad for them. Because Sacramento winning these first two games, they get home court advantage now through the rest of this. This is going to be a real test for Golden State if they really can repeat, which I don't think they can. They definitely can. I don't think they will.
Right.
Gotta get out of Sacramento.
Can't count Curry and the boys out, though. They have the championship pedigree. We'll see.
Well, we'll see
if Sacramento's built different.
I definitely think the 76ers are winning that series. Celtics definitely winning that series. But the Cleveland and Knicks, dude, I honestly don't.
That one has potential, but
I don't
just
know
can't.
which one is going to take that one.
I think Cleveland's going to win it still.
Me too. I do think Cleveland's going to take it.
I think Cleveland's going to win it still.
Especially after last night's performance. They blew them out.
Yeah. But Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, dude, they're both pretty good.
Yeah, I think the 76ers are going to win that as well. I think Brooklyn needed to steal one of these two games, of the first two games in Philly to stay active in this series. I think Brooklyn is still kind of trying to mesh as well as a new team post Kevin Durant trade. Same thing with the Suns as well. I mean, they haven't played a lot of games together. KD's it's even been said again on 98.7, my favorite radio station according to you guys. The only real sports station out here in Phoenix.
Suns fan.
They were talking about how even the rotation and some of the play calling that Phoenix usually does with KD now on the court, they've kind of backpedaled a little bit on it because he's still new to the team. So Phoenix is still trying to mesh as a team itself. But Phoenix, to me, is in a way better position to be able to go out and win a playoff series compared to the Nets.
Minnesota's on a 28-10 run. They got a 3-point lead now.
No way.
Wow, they're up.
Wow, incredible.
They up.
They were down pretty big at the beginning of this. But
pretty big.
I don't know. What's your guys' favorite series you think right now so far? Because I mean, they've all been fantastic.
Yeah, I'm loving the Suns Clippers for sure. I'm loving the Suns ones. I'm enjoying watching the Lakers, though. The Lakers series has definitely been interesting. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I love watching Rui Hachimura. Dude, he's just an exciting player to watch come off the bench.
ESPN just notified me with that freaking quote from Dylan Brooks, and I can't get it out of my head.
Wild. He needs to get humbled by the king.
But no, it's been awesome watching the guys coming off the bench because that's been the biggest problem. We haven't had any support from those kind of guys in LA for the last few years. So
facts.
Having
Nobody's
a guy
been able to hit the shots.
Yeah, dude. And he was clipping tonight. He was hitting from the three. Austin Reeves was a little bit slower tonight. And then D'Lo, just the last 2-3 games, has just been
dropped the ball,
absent. So I don't know. I'm hoping a lot of those other guys start coming alive. Dennis Schroeder, he had a big game one. So if he has another, he's a good role player for us. So I think the next couple games, just get a lot of those guys active. And then Bron's got to hit that dude in the mouth, dude.
Yep. Facts.
I hate
Gotta
that.
go vintage Bron on his ass.
Okay, but this is the problem with the Lakers and LeBron. And it's not a LeBron James problem himself. It's the problem with him being LeBron is that everybody still continues in his 21st year in the NBA. Everybody still continues to expect him and put on him that he has to be the one to go out there and win the game. Which, yes, he is.
AD needs to be that guy.
I was just going to say, he is LeBron James, but AD is there for a reason. AD, in my opinion, is there.
They've been saying that for years, though, is that they want him to move into that position where he's the guy.
He has not done it.
The bubble year, he actually was in that position where he did look like he could be that guy.
The bubble year,
Since then, dude, I mean, he's so fragile. He's the most fragile player in the NBA.
Dude, you can't go 4 for 14 in a must-win game. I'm sorry. In every game in the playoffs right now is must-win. You can't. He was
for sure.
He was 1 for 9 at halftime.
Yeah.
He only hit 3 more shots in the second half.
Yeah, that's bad.
37.
I saw him start passing it off to LeBron to take the shot, and it's like, bro, you gotta be taking that.
4 of his 13 points are from
He's
free
not
throws.
sitting in the paint. Like, he's sitting outside the box watching everybody else get the boards, and it's like, bro, what are you doing?
LeBron James yet again out. Oh, wait. Okay. LeBron James yet again out scored his team and out rebounded his team and almost out assisted his team as well. It's like, I get it. It's LeBron James, but he's in year 21, man. And you got a guy like Anthony Davis. You went out there and you made trades for D'Lo, Austin Reeves, you can't put a lot of pressure on Austin Reeves yet because he's still kind of an up-and-coming player. Yeah. But you went out and you got D'Lo for a reason. You went out and you got Anthony Davis for a reason. Anthony Davis gave the Lakers really 1-2 good years of New Orleans, Anthony Davis. But the last year and a half, he has not been either been street clothes or he's been kind of underwhelming. And I hate to say it. I was telling you before the show started, he's the most inconsistent superstar in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I would say so this year. He has been for sure. I don't know. It's hard for me to say that. I don't know if it's because I'm biased. Because I think he can be that guy.
Oh, I agree with you. He can be. We've seen flashes of him.
This year, it's just been... And honestly, I think I've said it to you before. I'm almost ready for them to just part with him. It's so tough watching him sit half the season... Maybe even more than half the season. I think last year he didn't play half the games
during that stretch.
So it's just like we can get so much.
With though you set yourself.
I don't know who you'd replace him with, but it's just.
I feel like they wouldn't set themselves back that far.
No, I don't think so either. You could fill that. I mean, you got
get rid of AD.
What?
Get rid of AD.
Dude, I don't know. It's tough to say, but he just doesn't play enough. And when he does,
Kawhi
he's
doesn't
not
play
present
the whole
every night.
Season, dog.
Yeah, that's true.
But Kawhi is different. Kawhi is a different breed.
None of these players.
I don't know. You can't have your star players doing that.
No, but I'm saying Kawhi doesn't. But look what Kawhi does when he plays. Look what he does. Kawhi consistently goes out there and drops 20, 25 plus on people's head. Where AD.
No, but he also doesn't have Bron on his team.
What do you mean?
They're asking Kawhi to do that. Obviously, he needs to do that, especially with Paul George out.
They're asking Anthony Davis to do that too.
They want
and he's
AD
not.
to be that guy. They don't want it to be Bron.
Yeah.
They want it to be AD.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's the thing. Kawhi went out and scored 31 points last night, and Russ still went out and scored 28 points.
Yeah.
Like LeBron, when was the last time we saw LeBron go out there and score 28, and AD right next to him had 30 or even 25 or 28?
I don't know if there's a huge difference because he prefers to play the 4. He's playing the 5. I don't know if that has an effect on his play. Like if it's mentally he just his positioning, like he has to be sitting under the basket. I don't know. Honestly, don't really know what's going on.
Even sitting under the basket, he's the biggest guy out there.
Yeah, he is. But I don't know.
We saw a couple times tonight him fighting for rebounds that he just watches bounce off the rim, hit the ground, and he just watches him for a minute before he does an attack. And it might be because he's a little nervous because he has been getting injured. I don't know, but
yeah, dude, when he was fucking grabbing his shoulder the other night, I was honestly so scared.
In the first game?
Yeah, I was scared.
I know.
And look, I'm not the biggest basketball knowledge guy. I'm trying to learn basketball as much. I love the game of basketball. I've always loved the sport. This is really the first year that I'm actually trying to get my basketball knowledge up. But from what I've seen from AD, I have been watching basketball enough. I just don't see it with him. He doesn't. It's almost like when he got traded to the Lakers and then he won that championship ring, he kind of was like, you know what, I did what I wanted to do here in LA. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's kind of like he's just a one-trick
hustle has
pony.
completely deflated since then.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What'd you say? Is what?
Like
Hustle.
his hustle, his
Oh,
whole
yeah.
like, I don't know. He just doesn't get after it. I mean, and it's because he's so injury prone, maybe. But
Well, and what I was going to say, too, something that rubbed me the wrong way is when LeBron James was out for the last couple weeks of the season, and they pretty much every game after the All-Star break was must-win for the Lakers, was it not?
yeah,
And there was like a 2-game stretch where AD sat out because of, I think it was like knee soreness, or there was something, like he wasn't injured. It was basically load management.
Yeah.
Like it's like LeBron James gets a lot of hate for being the GM, all these things, saying he's controlling the team. But no matter what, LeBron James goes out there and he plays every game as much as he can. When LeBron James is actually hurt, yes, he doesn't play. But LeBron will still go out there by himself and drop 25, 30 points a game. Where AD, when they're in must-win games and your best player isn't hurt
Yeah.
and you're doing load management at a point in time of the season where
Well,
you need to win every single game at that point, that to me rubbed me the wrong
Bron
way.
isn't hustling that much on defense though, so that's kind of where he does get his.
But that's always been an issue with Bron.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
well,
ask-
not always.
You
I wouldn't say
can't ask
always.
him to do that anymore.
I'm saying for the sake of
Yeah, I
saying for
know.
the sake
Yeah.
of this Lakers team, AD doesn't want it as much as the Lakers are trying to get him to.
Yeah,
He doesn't. AD to me doesn't
yeah.
want to be the guy on the team. He doesn't want to be that
Well,
guy
it's
anymore.
tough because you see him struggle so much because he's forcing everything. Like whenever he's shooting out there 1 for 9 or whatever it was, you see him. He's really just trying to throw shit up, and it's just not going. And it's like, bro, he's just got to slow down, figure his positioning. I don't know. He's just like he doesn't look comfortable out there.
yeah.
It is. It's unfortunate because AD on the Pelicans was such a force to be reckoned with. I feel like he
Dude,
really.
honestly, whenever we won that championship, I thought we were gonna be so fucking good for years to come.
well, that team was so good.
Dude, he looked ridiculous.
That team was so good. That Lakers,
That team was not that great.
I feel like that Lakers team was pretty solid.
No,
It's better than the team they have now.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't think so.
I would say.
I
Yes.
think this team that we have now is better.
Mm,
I did like that team a lot. Like
KCP was on that team.
KCP, Kuz, Rajon Rondo, though. I loved having Rondo.
Rondo was a dog on that team.
Loved Dwight's comeback. JaVale McGee, we were really tall.
I was just gonna say Dwight
we had
and
a really
JaVale
big
both
team.
played pretty solid for you guys that year.
Well, JaVale during the playoffs didn't play that much, but we had a really tall team, very good defensively. But there wasn't a lot of shooters.
Yeah,
I
still
think
a fake championship.
I think right now we have a lot more
No,
shooters.
it's not a fake championship.
That's not a fake championship. Everybody had the same fucking opportunity.
Well, you want to hear some good news before we wrap up, Spence?
I don't know.
You
Kind
don't.
of
I'm
seem a
looking
little
at a screen
devious right now.
The Kansas City Chiefs have announced that James, what happened? Droz will announce the day 3 draft pick for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No way.
Yes, sir.
That's sick. That's fucking
Dude,
sick.
that Lakers team was way better than this team. Are you kidding me?
I don't know, dude.
Bro, they went 52-19.
Oh yeah, record-wise for sure. But I just
Yeah,
I
roster-wise,
think
they're very comparable. I mean, there's nothing that stands out that like they're way better.
this year, I think the West is much harder, which
Facts.
goes into play with the record. That year we didn't have AD and Bron. I mean, they didn't really sit too much this year, but everybody was playing that year.
I don't know, man. If they're definitely, dude. I don't know. I like this 2020 team a lot more. The 2020 team had Avery Bradley,
He didn't-
Alex Caruso, Quinn
He
Cook.
didn't play at all in the postseason.
Oh, he didn't play in the bubble, but during the regular season, he was solid.
He was okay. I don't think he really.
Danny Green,
did
Dwight
too much with
Howard, Kyle Kuzma, JaVale McGee, Markieff
Danny
Morris.
Green was fucking super inconsistent.
He was very inconsistent.
Oh
You're
my
right.
god, we had that one.
But I mean,
I can't remember what game or what series it was. I think it was against the Nuggets.
God,
where he
Deion
just
Waiters
missed a
was on this
wide
team,
open
too.
3.
Deion Waiters played on this team. That is hilarious. I don't remember him being on this team.
Yeah, I
Waiters
actually liked him a lot.
Waiters was pretty good.
Yeah, he was good for us.
What's up with Lonnie Walker?
Good
Is he
two-way
getting
player.
He's not getting minutes.
Why?
I don't know,
Dude,
dude.
what I'm saying.
I like him a lot.
I don't like him. I don't like him. There's
No,
something about.
I like
he's
him.
kind of like
actually,
he's kind of like Monty Williams. I just don't like the rotation that
he definitely makes good second half adjustments.
You are correct. You are
They're a
correct.
complete
The
second
last
half
two
team,
games,
which is crazy.
Last 2 games, the Lakers have been down. First game they were down 16. This game they were down 20 at halftime. And every time I've said to Spencer, like, what's up? Lakers are done. They're down by this much. And he has looked at me and he said, second half team. And tonight they had a 14-3 run the second half.
They didn't get it done.
They didn't get it done, but
they closed the gap to, I think, 6 points at one point.
But if they played that way in the first half, imagine how many games they would win.
No, it would be completely different.
Now, look, let's be real here. Did we think that they were going to sweep Memphis?
No.
So this loss to me isn't as surprising.
I don't think so.
The fact that they stole one in Memphis
with Ja, like they should have taken advantage of Ja being
they didn't
out.
have Ja or Steven Adams.
I don't think Ja's going to be that great this series with his injury though. It's on his shooting hand.
I was just going to say. He said I think this morning that he hasn't used it at all.
That's not good.
I think I saw a quote that said that he was in pain whenever he tried to use it.
That's not. I don't think he's really going to do much when he does come back. Lakers
need to capitalize with Ja being out. Damn, we turned into a Lakers pod here for a second.
Apparently.
Dude, I love LeBron. I just
trying to turn into a Chicago pod and go get Glizzy deep and fucking.
Whoa, you're not gonna throw a pause in there?
Portillo's, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I do have a question though. I do have a question though for you guys because I know we're trying to wrap up, but Draymond's not playing this weekend.
Honestly,
do we think Sacramento?
I don't think that suspension was worth it.
I don't think it was worth it either. I think a fine maybe, but
I don't think
they just had to do it because of his antics in the past.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think he punched Poole at the beginning of the season or off season.
He also had a situation earlier in the game where they were like wondering if they should give him
he's always like that. Yeah,
Sabonis was running back after falling on the ground and he like stuck his butt out and pretty much like tripped him on purpose. He's just always on some fuck shit. So
Sabonis was definitely grabbing Clay, and then he completely just grabbed Draymond right after that.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Here's what I want to say.
I don't think it was deserved, but
they're both being petty. But
I got some fucking beef with the NBA because
Draymond's was more obvious.
Whose idea was it to schedule the Sacramento Kings game at 7 o'clock tomorrow, and then the Phoenix Suns game at 7:30? Fucking idea was that?
Yeah, we're gonna have to be two TV.
Like, the 76ers game is at 4:30.
Yeah, that's
it's two West Coast games.
It's a pretty big gap, and then right back to back.
Yeah, it's the two West Coast games. They got to get the East Coast over early.
Well, dude, I really hope the Kings win. If the Kings win tomorrow and it's 3-0, is the series over? You would imagine the series is over, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
You would imagine it's over?
Yeah.
Gotta be, right?
I think so.
But there's no way the Warriors go down 3-0, right? There's no way.
I don't think that. I don't know.
We'll see. I hope the Kings put
I
on a
wouldn't think
show.
so, but no Draymond.
Imagine if Marvin Bagley actually worked out for them.
And him, is he even on the roster still? But yeah, there's no way the Warriors go down, right? No way they go down 3-0?
No, they got to win. It's a must win.
This is indeed a must win for them, no doubt. But I mean, yeah,
I don't know, dude. Sacramento looks nice.
Yeah, Bagley isn't on. What happened to him?
Fell off.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Miami, Milwaukee, they're 1-1. That series could really go either direction. Minnesota, Denver's still up in the air. You know, it's NBA playoffs, man. They're heating up and they're exciting every single year, and we are very excited for them, and we hope you guys are excited for them as well. But with that being said, is there anything else you guys think that the world needs to hear our opinion on tonight?
Not necessarily.
Spence?
Let them know you're going to Disney, bro.
Oh, I am going to Disney this weekend. Should
be a pretty good little silly mouse, huh?
Maybe not a mouse. Maybe more like a
rat.
I'm gonna be a dog. My favorite character growing up was Pluto. So,
of course it was.
Dog.
Yeah, you're kind of goofy.
I'm a bit.
Oh. You know that meme? Drop it in the comments.
Well, with that being said, don't forget to follow us at _Sideline Banter on Instagram and Twitter. On YouTube at Sideline Banter. New episodes every Thursday, uploaded at 8 a.m. Find us on Apple Pod, Spotify, Amazon, and anywhere you guys listen to podcasts as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in every single week. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Weston, for another fantastic show. Thank you, Spencer, for bringing your game yet again, bringing us into your guys' living rooms and cell phones.
Hosting a great show.
Yeah, thanks, Coop.
Thank you guys. I try my best. I need to bring a little more host out a little bit. You know, I feel like I've been slacking a little bit. But
whatever that means. You're already built like a hostess, ding dong.
Whoa.
I like that.
We're about to sign off, man. You got to do me like
that. My bad. I'll do it. Thank you.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week for our Sideline Banter pre-draft show.
Draft
Thank you guys and have a good weekend.
preview.
Beat my mate.